Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Welcome back, everybody. We're here today with a brand new Friday review. So glad you could join me here today on the show. We've got 2 product reviews, 2 research studies, and one of the longest lived American ever, plus a podcast recap for the week, and so much more. All right, let's dive right into the show. I always love to give you the latest and the greatest updates from this week in particular. And one of the things that I wanted you to know that couldn't be more excited about is the Reimagining Health Summit that we are working on for this coming October. This is a community event. Again, I couldn't be more excited to actually join the community together for maybe the first time. Again, I know we've done IHP-based events, but the entire podcast-based community, and gather together, meet in person, share some meals together. We have 16 talks over 2 days, and it's called the Reimagining Health Summit. The actual URL is reimagininghealthevent.com, and this week we finally solidified all of the speakers. So we have all of the topics there. We've got all the exhibitors. It's an experiential-based event. So if you've never done like a lot of healthy biohacking, we're gonna have the top companies there that are actually gonna allow you to use all the different equipment. So it's pretty phenomenal. I mean, the event is going to be great. It's getting to listen to all of these world-class expert speakers, getting to see all the different exhibitors at the event, but also it's getting to meet the community in person. So I do hope that you will take us up on this offer. I do hope to actually meet you in person, and that will be this October. Check out all of the details at reimagininghealthevent.com. Check it out, reimagininghealthevent.com. All right, what's going on over at EquiLife? Well, this week at EquiLife, it is the continuation and end of our semi-annual sale. This is the only 2 times of the year where we are actually on sale site-wide up to 30% off. That means up to 30% off at-home lab testing, at all of our different wellness protocols, like our brand new, you can't see it behind me, but the heavy metal detox, the Pro detox, we have the intestinal cleanse, we have the functional medicine detox, we have all the different protocols, plus your everyday favorites that you love, up to 30% off right now while supplies last all this week. Head on over to stephencabral.com/shop for all of those details. All right, podcast recap for the week. This was a fun week on the show. I hope that you enjoyed it as well. We got a lot of feedback, a lot of great feedback in the comments and on YouTube. So we appreciate all of the new subscribers on YouTube. The channel is growing every single week. We love to see that because for me, I love to be able to teach on video, and we're going to start to do more shorts. So just quick 1-minute, 2-minute videos from some of these clips. As well as individual videos that we will only post to YouTube. So if you're not a subscriber over on YouTube, I can't recommend it enough. It's just my name, Stephen Cabral. That's Stephen with a PH. You will find every day a brand new show, a brand new video. Again, we'd love you to subscribe and, of course, share the show. So this week on the show this is a great quote by Dr. Bruce Lipton. Bruce Lipton was a virtual mentor of mine, and he's been that for now going back 15 years, maybe a little bit longer. When I first read his book, The Biology of Belief, that's not a book review this week, but I will absolutely recommend it. It's called The Biology of Belief by Dr. Bruce Lipton. Brilliant guy, really kind soul, and I quoted his quote, which I love, and maybe he wasn't the first one to say it, but I love giving credit, at least by who I heard it from, and that is, worrying is praying for what you don't want. Think about that. When you worry, you're praying for what you don't want because it's what you're focused on. This is an amazing topic. I hope you'll check it out. That was episode 2719. 2019. On 2720 was adding this to your coffee to make it healthier, meaning if you add this one little amino acid to your coffee, could you make your coffee even healthier? Well, if you're someone with anxiety or worry or jitters or accelerated heart rate, you might want to check it out. That was episode 2720. 2721 is berberine better than pharma drugs? We'll probably talk a lot more about berberine. I know it's a popular topic. Obviously, this herb's been around for a long time, right? And what I want to share with you, though, is there's always ebbs and flows in this natural health industry, but it is a fantastic product that you can use. I actually gave you the different dosages on the show, what the scientific research shows, and I'm happy to do follow-ups, so always leave what you're interested in the comments below, and I will definitely do follow-up shows as well. All right, and yesterday's show was 2722, and that was, does exercising in the morning or the afternoon elevate your blood sugar levels? And one of the times of the day do, while the other one doesn't. I think it will shock you. Check out yesterday's show, episode 2722. All right, that is our podcast recap of the week. I have a brand new product to share with you. I've actually waited about 4 years to bring you this, legitimately. I've talked about them on the show, but there has not been a single pair of these that have ever fit my body. And this one is by a company I just reviewed last week called VivaRays. So if you didn't check out that show, I would love you to check out that show. I actually have them right here, but I'm not going to do a re-review because each week is a new show. That was episode 2716. They're the first company that I know of that actually has a 3-in-1 pair of blue blockers based on the time of the day. So one for daylight, like staring at your computer screen like I'm doing right now, or the lights or camera. The second is for the evening, and the third is is before bed, basically 30 to 60 minutes to really knock down those cortisol levels. They work, they're proven by science, great company, and on a whim, I decided to purchase their air tubes. If you've never heard about ear tubes before, but let me show you first this nice little carrying case. So all it is obviously a little disc if you're just listening to this on audio and not on video. And I'm taking out a headset. So it's a plugged in headset. People always ask me, like, how come you don't use earbuds? I have a podcast on why you do not want to wear earbuds. So I know that's going to rattle a lot of people, but I want to bring you the unbiased truth. I would love to wear earbuds as well. It'd be so much easier not to have all of these wires, but it's absolutely not healthier to do it that way, and I explain why. I'll link up that show today at episode 2723, stephencabral.com/2723. That's all today's show notes, research, and much more. But this is really important because, I don't want to get too deep into what happens when you put something that can produce electromagnetic frequencies, radiation, and different types of basically microwave-based rays inside of your skull, because that's what you're doing for your ear, right? It's not even just, they've proven that if you put your phone to your face and talk on it, there could be risk for cancer. Well, now think about if you took that receiver, you put it inside of your eardrum, so in your skull, and then it had to click over or had to send signals through your brain to the other earbud, right? So just keep that in mind. I have a whole podcast on the science behind it. But anyway, these ear tubes, I wear a wired headset, but these ear tubes are even better. And the reason is that before they even get to your neck, what happens is the actual sound frequency moves and reverberates through a clear tube, an empty tube. So you get the vibrations into your ears, and you can use this as your wired headset. This is the very first pair, and I've tried a lot. I've purchased basically all of them on Amazon. I had to return them, unfortunately. I hate returning things, but I had to. None of them worked. These fit in my ear for whatever reason, and so I can use these on my Zoom calls, my Skype calls, all the things that I do with my team and with clients. and you're able to use this on airplanes, which is really nice, but also you can get the converter and plug it into your iPhone too, which is what I have. So super simple, super easy. Again, I will link these up. I probably can get us a discount code as well. I didn't get to use the discount code, but we're going to reach out as we always do to these companies, and usually they can absolutely offer 10 to 20% off. So I'm going to link that up for you here today, StephenCabral.com/2723. I'll link it up, and while you're there, while you're on their site, check out the 3-in-1 blue light blocking glasses as well, all right? Okay, I've got a second product review for this week, lo and behold. So instead of doing a book review for the week, which I often like to do, I did that last week, and I did a book on sprouts. So I never read a book strictly on sprouts. So I said, why don't I really learn about sprouting certain foods? Why would you ever want to sprout certain veggies? The reason is this. When you sprout a food, you get a maximal amount of nutrition in a low calorically dense food, meaning like it has very little calories, so low caloric, but high nutrient density. So it's an amazing way to get more alkaline-based minerals, right, all of your electrolytes, et cetera, into your body. And you can just add it to any meal that you want. You don't have to be a vegetarian to do these things. You can still eat meat. You can still eat chicken. You can still eat fish, whatever you'd like. But you can add some sprouts on the side. And they are literally superfoods, right? So let me just show you the company that I'm going with. Again, I don't know this company in any way, shape, or form. But when I was doing my research, I wanted non-GMO. I wanted organic. I wanted something super simple. And that was basically, they were clean, right? It was a clean-based product. So this is called Nature Jim's Sprouts. I have broccoli seeds right here. So for people who don't even love broccoli, you can have these broccoli seeds. And what they do is they sprout up in just 5 days' time. So again, this is super simple. You don't need to be a botanist, right, or a gardener. You can have these in your house. You just get a sprouting tray. If I need to, I'll be happy to do a Friday review on that as well. You're going to essentially just add water. That's it. The seeds and the water. And what do? You just change the water in the morning when you wake up. If you can, change it at lunch and then change it before bed. That's all you're doing. And you're doing that for 3 to 5 days. That's basically it. It gets sunlight for the second half of the 2 or 3 days and not so much the first. It's not difficult to sprout seeds. It's really not. And then you can add these to all of your dishes. And it's really great if you have kids, you can help them. They can be a part of the process and they get to actually eat what they grow. And even if you mess up, it's hard to mess up doing this, but you can just start again and they grow in again 5 days. So I have the broccoli seeds right here. Obviously, broccoli is super nutritious, but also keep in mind, it has a large amount of sulforaphane. And the last part I want to add is for people that have digestive-based issues, they could actually do really well with sprouting these seeds, making it even more easier to digest. Just remove that little hull at the end. And then there's another mix that I'm going to link up, and it's their salad mix. So this one's alfalfa, radish, broccoli, and clover. So it's essentially a 4-in-1. If you want a little bit more of a mixture, then you can get a nice mixture. This is all blended together. So you get a little bit of alfalfa, a little bit of broccoli, a little bit of clover, and a little bit of the radish all popping up. So again, super easy, super simple, fun for the whole family, no doubt about it. And I do believe that you'll consider yourself a botanist in just about 5 days' time. So what I'd love though from the community, since I've sprouted seeds before. I'm by no means an expert in any way, shape, or form. I would love to get your feedback, and please do share your favorite brands of sproutable-based seeds. You can just leave that in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. I'm going to be checking out additional brands as well. I'll link up the Nature's Jim's Sprouts today. But again, I want to hear from you. I want to learn from you as well as to what your favorite sprouting-based seeds are. And if you have any tricks, I'd like to hear about those as well. We'll certainly give up updates in the future. Okay, we've got some research studies for you here today. I always love to be able to bring you two. We're going to end with a fun one. And this first one's, I don't know, I'm someone who loves research. I think it's pretty interesting as well. So this one was out of, let's see, it's a study on over 11,000 adults over 30 years of age. And this was done at the Laboratory of Cardiovascular Regenerative Medicine and the National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute, along with the National Institutes for Health. And this was done in Bethesda, Maryland, published in eBiomedicine. So big study. Interesting. I want to share this with you. And here's why I want to share it with you. I always find research studies based on what's going on in the popular culture today. Right now, electrolytes are big. I'm a fan of electrolytes. I think they're fantastic. I try to get as many as I can from whole food, and maybe I'll get some from nutritional supplements. I try to get a little bit from my squeeze of lime every day and a pinch of sea salt. That's how I get my potassium, my sodium in there as well. But a lot of people now, again, it's this mindset that if a little is good, a lot must be better. And they're taking in like 5,000 to 10,000 milligrams of sodium every day. The average limit is typically around 2,400 milligrams or so for sodium. I'm not saying that you can't get more, especially if you sweat a lot, all of that, but we just have to be careful because it's like fasting, it's like exercise, like anything else. Some is good. More is not better, right? More is only better if you need more. And this study, again, this proves this out. So, okay, having too little water in the body leads to having unhealthy levels of blood sodium. The normal range for sodium is 135 milliequivalents per liter to 146 milliequivalents per liter. Adults with sodium levels above the normal range had 50% higher risk of being biologically older than their chronological age. You know how much we talk about biological age, right? If you've never even tested your biological age, I want to link that up for you here today, a biological age-based test that also comes with a video tutorial by me, so I'm going to link that up. Okay, and a 21% higher risk of dying early. So basically, early death increases all-cause mortality by 21% if you have a higher sodium level in your blood. Adults older than their chronological age were 64% more likely to develop chronic diseases such as heart failure, stroke, and atrial fibrillation plus more. Blood level of sodium is influenced by liquid intake from water and fruits and vegetables that are higher in water content. The National Academy of Medicine recommends that women aim for 9 cups of water daily, men 12.5 cups, some of which can come from fruits, vegetables, and soups. Okay, that was their synopsis. Let's get a little bit deeper than that. So, basically the study is saying this. People are underhydrated and over-salted, which I agree with, right? And they have to be careful with that last recommendation of soups. When you look at your average can or bottle or whatever jar of soup, it is one of the highest sodium-containing foods in the entire world. So I think that was a little bit of an oversight on my part, right? Yes, it's liquid. Yes, it's water, but it's super high in sodium. So I think we have to take that away. The fruit, the smoothies, all of that is great. I've got one right here. And the reason why that's great is that it's water. Fruit is about 90% water, but it's also higher in potassium usually as well. Potassium balances sodium and it balances healthy blood pressure. So really what we're talking about is, yes, you can add more salt to your diet. Hopefully it's not table salt. Hopefully it's more like Himalayan or Celtic or Redmond's real salt. Hopefully it's one of those, maybe even some rock salt. But what I want to share with you is this, is that you can't add more unless you're getting your hydration levels up. Most people I know are not drinking the 9 to 12.5 cups of water per day. I always give you the general recommendation, about half your body weight in ounces of water per day. 160 pounds, 80 ounces of water, that's 10 cups of water per day. Most people would do well there. I can't give you medical advice, medical treatment plans, medical diagnosis, but you have to understand is that you can do it based a little bit off your blood pressure, a little bit off your hydration levels, all of those things. I'll talk about hydration on an upcoming show too, as to like whether you're hungry or you're just thirsty, right? Because the body cries out for water in many different ways. But let's just be careful on over salting. If you don't need more salt, you don't need to add more salt, right? It's not necessarily the superfood that we think it is. Good for the body, we need it, but it's only one of the electrolytes, right? So if you're just loading up on salt and you're not even sweating a lot, we have to be careful as to what we're drinking. So increase that hydration if you're big on electrolyte additives. Okay. All right, the last one I wanted to share with you is this. This is out of the Gerontology Research Group. This was actually verified with true birth certificates. So although there are other people that have said to have lived longer in the United States, this person, her name was Bessie Hendricks. Shout out to Bessie Hendricks of Des Moines, Iowa. She lived through the Great Depression in the 1920s. She lived through World War I, World War II, all of the wars that have passed since then. She's seen great things go on in the world. She's seen horrific things go on in the world. She passed away at 115 years old, now known as the oldest adult on record for the United States. There are others over in Japan and other places around the world that have lived into their 120s and beyond. Some say even longer in China and other places, but at least on record. So shout out, fun way to end the show. Thank you, Gerontology Research Group, for recognizing Bessie Hendricks of Des Moines, Iowa as the longest living American on record. This is something that near and dear to my heart. I'm teaching a lot of this at High Performance Health, but I just love to be able to see that even without all the health tech and all the technologies, that we have these amazing individuals who well past the 100 years mark. So hopefully this show has been helpful. Thanks so much, everyone. I will link up all of the research, all the product reviews, and much more at today's show notes, StephenCabral.com/2723. Have an amazing weekend. I'll be back tomorrow answering our community's questions. Before you go, I wanted to share a personal story with you. The real reason I began to get well finally is because I figured out what was wrong with me. And that might seem pretty obvious, but I went from doctor to doctor for over 2 years before discovering at-home functional medicine lab testing. These are the labs that enabled me to finally figure out what was wrong with my hormones, blood sugar, electrolytes, and gut health. And once I knew what was wrong, I could then follow a proven plan in order to rebalance my body from the inside out. This is why I believe so strongly in functional medicine lab testing and why I've made it my mission to share these labs with the world. Now at EquiLife, you can order an at-home lab test or a lab bundle for you and your family and be able to complete it within the week. Plus, the EquiLife difference is that you're not left to try to read and figure out these labs on your own. We explain what your lab numbers mean, what they mean in the much bigger picture, and then how to go about rebalancing your body in order to heal. To see our full selection of lab tests or to set up a free lab selection call to find out what labs may be best for you, simply head on over to equa.life/labs. And do remember, we ship these all over the world. To find out more and to set up your free lab selection call, simply head on over to equa.life/labs. That's EQUI.LIFE/labs.